Welcome to Super Showdowns, the ultimate destination for epic battles and legendary showdowns. Join us as we put iconic superheroes, villains, and mythological figures against each other in thrilling matches of strength, strategy, and skill.
The heartbeat of Harlem pulsed like a living drum beneath the neon haze of midnight. Thunder rolled in the sky, not from weather, but from the murmur of tension that had been building for days. Whispers of strange sightings, metallic shadows glinting near rooftops, and the hum of high-tech machinery echoing off brick walls. Luke Cage walked those streets with his trademark stride, slow, steady, grounded. His boots hit the pavement with purpose, the sound melding into the music pouring from barbershops, corner bodegas, and late-night soul joints. This was his turf, his people, and yet Harlem felt restless. Luke paused under the flickering sign of Pop's old barbershop, now rebuilt and glowing bright, a symbol of hope and resilience. Misty Night had left him a message earlier. Something big's coming. Not your usual gang mess. Suit up. He didn't need a costume. His skin was the armor. But even so, Luke felt something heavier than usual in the air, like destiny had decided to shove a new challenger onto his path. Across the country, in a towering research facility in Metropolis, Dr. John Henry Irons stood before the towering silhouette of his greatest creation. Steel the hardened, alloy-plated, thruster-powered armor symbolizing his personal oath to protect people from the consequences of human ambition gone wild. The suit hummed, energy coils vibrating with anticipation. John's eyes scanned report after report on his workstation. Unexplained energy readings, unusual seismic spikes detected around Harlem, and violent fluctuations of electromagnetic signatures. Something dangerous was brewing, something that demanded immediate investigation. John Henry Irons wasn't one to wait. He stepped into the armor. Metallic locks sealed around his limbs. HUD systems booted up, bathing his vision in holographic blue. His iconic hammer rotated into position on magnetic clamps. A rush of power surged through him as the thrusters ignited. Then he soared into the night sky, streaking like a steel comet toward New York City. Back in Harlem, Luke Cage reached the alley behind a community center. He could smell ozone in the air, a strange, burnt metal scent that didn't belong to the city. A low mechanical whine echoed overhead. Luke squinted at the dark sky. Through clouds tinted with urban light pollution, he saw something descending. A silhouette, metallic, powerful, like a mechanical angel. The impact shook the ground. A shockwave rippled through the alley, rattling trash cans and sending loose papers into a frenzy. Luke braced himself as steel landed in a heavy crouch, armor glowing with internal energy. For a moment, the two men stood silent, one armored in alloy and cutting-edge tech, the other cloaked in street clothes and unbreakable flesh. Luke Cage. Steel announced through his voice-modulated suit, "I'm here to warn you. Something dangerous is destabilizing this area. I've tracked the anomaly right to this neighborhood." Luke crossed his arms, unimpressed by the theatrics. "I don't need warnings from someone who drops out of the sky like he owns the place." Steel's visor flickered, analyzing Luke's body for abnormalities. "Your physiology might be tied to what I'm picking up. Are you experiencing unusual energy discharges?" "That's my business," Luke snapped. "And you don't come into Harlem telling me what's wrong with my people." Steel straightened. "This isn't territorial. This is scientific. Whatever's happening could harm everyone within several blocks. I need your cooperation." Luke stepped forward, eyes cold. "Harlem cooperates on its own terms." Behind them, a sudden explosion lit up the night sky. The ground trembled. A blast of violet energy ripped through a nearby apartment building, sending shockwaves across the street. Steel pivoted instantly, diagnostic scans flashing in his HUD. Luke rushed toward the debris without hesitation, his instincts kicking in. Screams filled the air. "I'll get the people out," Luke yelled. "I'll stabilize the structure." Steel answered. For a moment, they worked in perfect synchrony. Luke used his strength to punch through debris, lifting collapsed beams as if they were matchsticks. Steel deployed magnetic clamps and reinforced shattered pillars with hard light stabilizers. Children cried, mothers clutched their loved ones. Fathers staggered through dust clouds, but the two heroes acted fast and saved everyone within reach. but the source of the explosion remained unknown. As the dust settled, Steel turned toward Luke. "These energy readings are escalating. You're at the epicenter. There must be a reason." Luke's patience was thin. "I don't care what your readings say. I'm done with your questions. I'm protecting my home, with or without your metal suit." Steel's armor flared with soft blue light. "I'm not your enemy, Cage, but I can't let stubbornness jeopardize innocent lives." And in that moment, with the city trembling and tensions rising, a spark lit between two men of iron, one forged by science and tech, the other by pain and resilience. Invisible currents in the air twisted around them, drawing them together like two unstoppable forces on a collision course. Neither realized that the energy anomaly wasn't a threat. It was the catalyst. And soon, Harlem would witness an earth-shaking clash between two titans, one of steel, one of unbreakable flesh, born not from rivalry, but from destiny. The first tremor hit like the bass drop of a cosmic drum. The night sky split open with a violent flash, and a column of warped energy spiraled upward from deep beneath the streets of Harlem. Steel's sensors screamed warnings in John Henry Iron's ears, while Luke Cage felt the vibration in his bones, an unnatural pulse, beating like a feral heartbeat. The air tightened around them, charged with magnetic tension. Without words, the two men knew the anomaly was escalating, but fear and frustration already smoldered between them, and the sudden surge tipped the balance. An explosion of violet energy burst outward. Luke staggered back, shielding his face. The shockwave struck him like a punching freight train. Steel, protected by the energy-dampening plating of his armor, soared backward but stabilized with mid-air thrusters. When the smoke cleared, both men stood their ground, one a titan of flesh, the other a juggernaut of alloy. Luke cracked his knuckles. "I told you I don't need your tech in Harlem." Steel's hammer dropped into his hand, its surface shimmering with kinetic energy. "Then prove you can handle what's coming. But first, I'm shutting down that anomaly before it tears this city apart." "Not without clearing me first," Luke growled. "You don't walk into my home, bark orders, then tell me you know best." Steel stepped forward, visor glowing. "I can't let you interfere, and I'm done arguing." That was all the spark needed. Luke surged forward, launching himself like a human battering ram. His fist crashed into Steel's chest plate with a thunderous clang, powerful enough to echo down the block. Steel's armor absorbed the blow, but the impact shoved him backward several feet, leaving heavy cracks in the asphalt. Luke pressed on, throwing rapid-fire punches, each stronger than the last. Sparks flew as alloy met unbreakable knuckles. Steel engaged combat mode. HUD displays spun across his vision. Impact force readings, vector angles, energy capacity. He tightened his stance, letting Luke's barrage bounce off hardened plating. Then Steel struck back. His hammer swung in a perfect arc, its kinetic charge erupting at the moment of contact. It collided with Luke's ribs, sending a shockwave rippling through his body. Luke's breath exploded from his lungs. For the first time in a long while, he felt a punch that truly hurt, not from piercing damage, but from raw concussive force that rattled his insides. Luke grinned through the pain. "Okay, Tin Man, I felt that." Steel boosted upward with a jet-assisted rise and came crashing down with the hammer overhead. Aiming for a takedown, Luke dodged at the last second, grabbing the haft of the weapon with both hands. The shock reverberated through Luke's arms, but he held on. With raw power, he jerked the hammer downward, yanking Steel off balance. He hurled the armored hero across the street like a projectile. Steel crashed into a car, flattening it with a metallic crunch. Before Steel could fully rise, Luke was on him again, lifting the car and slamming it down over Steel like a giant steel coffin. The ground shook with the force. Outside the crushed metal shell, Steel's systems flickered. He powered up, releasing a magnetic pulse that shredded the car apart in a burst of sparks and shards. Luke shielded his eyes as glowing fragments scattered across the street. "Fine," Steel said. "Close quarters isn't enough for this." Ascended with a roar of thrusters, rising high above Luke. He extended his gauntlets and unleashed a symmetrical blast of concussive energy. Twin beams shot downward like descending thunderbolts. Luke raised his arms, bracing his body as explosive blue waves hammered him. The pavement shattered beneath him, cracks spiderwebbing outward. Debris swirled in chaotic rings. Ashton surged through Luke's torso again internal, bypassing his impenetrable skin and assaulting his organs with concussive force. Ash roared defiantly and leapt upward, an impossible feat of willpower and strength. He caught Steel by the ankle midair, dragging him out of his hover pattern. The two spiraled downward, slamming through a building's facade in an explosion of bricks and dust. They crashed into a laundromat, washing machines exploding outward as both warriors hit the floor. Luke landed punch after punch on Steel's helmet. Each blow dented alloy, sparks spraying wildly. Steel's vision blurred. His systems recalibrated rapidly. Systems rerouting, Steel muttered. He activated sonic dispersion mode. A deafening blast erupted from his chest unit. The sonic wave hurled Luke backward, sending him tumbling through broken washers and shattered windows. Luke clutched his ears, staggering, disoriented. His skull rang, vision wavering. For the first time, his invulnerability meant nothing. Sound bypassed skin entirely. Steel rose from the rubble, armor scorched, plating dented. He marched forward steadily, recalibrating internal systems. He lifted his hammer, energy swirling around it like a contained storm. Luke shook off the disorientation and charged with a primal yell. Steel met him head-on. The hammer connected with Luke's sternum, generating a kinetic detonation that lifted Luke off his feet and launched him across the street. Luke crashed into a brick wall, cracks splintering through the structure as he slid down, groaning. He pushed himself back up. Still standing, he spit out. Steel retracted the hammer, changed energy modes, and targeted Luke's vitals. But not for long. He unleashed a focused burst of magnetic energy pulses, each blast calibrated to shake Luke's internal anatomy without damaging his skin. Luke stumbled, wincing, clutching his abdomen as waves of force pulsed through his chest and ribs. "You're strong, Cage," Steel said, stepping closer. "But I see your weakness. You heal slow on the inside, and I can hit you where it counts." Luke tried to lunge, but his legs buckled. He dropped to one knee. Steel approached him, hammer glowing, but not with lethal intent. He stopped a few feet away, breathing heavily. "Stand down," Steel ordered, voice firm but not cruel. "I don't want to hurt you anymore, but I will finish this if you force me." Luke glared up, jaw tight, pain flashing behind his eyes. His pride screamed at him to fight, but his body trembled, pushed beyond limits. With a final exhale, Luke lowered his gaze. Steel disengaged combat mode. "This isn't your loss, Cage, it's protection. For your people. For the city." Luke slumped back, exhausted, drenched in sweat. Steel extended a hand, not as a rival, but as a fellow protector. "Let's shut down that anomaly," he said. And in the dim light of a shattered Harlem street, bruised but unbroken, Luke Cage accepted the hand of the armored titan, who earned his victory through power, intellect, and relentless perseverance. Steel was the clear winner,